that I have that pays me every single month. Some, whether I get up and do anything, some others I have to work for. So, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jamil Frazier. I am a wealth consultant. I own a company called Think Life is Different, where we really help entrepreneurs and high income earners really scale their businesses and scale their wealth. So, if you don't know a little bit about me, about 12, 13 years ago, I was actually not just broke, but broke. I was about $100,000 in debt, and I went on a journey to really build wealth. And now, just about a decade later, we've scaled our income, our wealth, our portfolios into not just the millions, but in the multi millions. So, statistically, the average millionaire hits millionaire status by the time at the age of 47 years old. And on average, those millionaires have about seven streams of income. Seven streams. I now have 11 streams, and I thought it'd be helpful for you to just get it raw, like no fluff, no mumbo jumbo, no, this is what you ought to do if you're in a perfect situation. No, I'm going to tell you step by step what I did to go from $100,000 in debt, now just 12 years later, having multiple seven figures of portfolio income. And so I thought that this would be helpful. Now, I have a whole list right here. So if you see me referencing the notes, it is because I've printed out all of these notes for you so that you can take this information tonight and you can start to implement it. Now, some of these things are going to be really easy things that you can implement like literally right now. Some of these things is going to take you some time to build up to, but I want to tell you the 11 streams so that you can maybe pick two or three that you just want to start focusing on now, and maybe the other eight, nine, or 10 you can put down on a list so that in the future you can start to attack these streams. Okay, so number one, for all of you guys that are taking notes, number one is I built my core business when I was about 31, 32 years old. I had an opportunity to start a business, and I built a business in the health and wellness industry. Now, it was a scary process. I was working as a medical sales professional. I was already making six figures. I made, maybe the year that I left my job, I made probably about $112,000 on paper. Now, that's not the money that actually hit my bank account, but on paper it would say that I made about $100,000. But I would say net after taxes and just liabilities and all that stuff, I was probably only bringing home maybe about $6,000 a month. But I got inspired. I saw an opportunity to build a business in the health and wellness industry. And so I jumped at the opportunity. Yes, it was a little bit scary. Yes, I doubted myself. Yes, there was a lot of months where I didn't think that I was going to make it. Yes, I did have some small kind of thoughts of going back to my corporate career. But like any serious entrepreneur, you just got to keep going. And so I got some mentors around me and I just kept going. Now, here's the thing, in that core business, this really set the foundation. Now, out of these 11 streams that I'm telling you about, you can do all of them by remaining an employee and working for somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can build wealth by doing that. Let me just tell you a little bit of a secret. How it only took me 5.5 years to build my first million in net worth, and then just a couple years after that to build another million, then a couple years after that to build another million, is because I created a business. And in a business, you can scale faster because you use something called leverage. So I'm going to touch on leverage a little bit in a minute. But number one is my core business. Now, here's the unique thing about that business. I have since left that business about a year and a half ago, but that business still pays me over six figures every single year, even though I'm no longer in charge of it. That's the type of business that you want to build, which is a cash flowing business that can run and operate without you. So that's income stream number one. So every single month, I get paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from a business I no longer even run. Okay. Number two, when I started making money in that business, right away, I read a book years ago, back in 2003, called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And in that book, I had no idea what that dude was talking about. But what did really stand out to me was he invested in real estate. So once I started making a little bit of money with my business, then I just set a goal to keep as so that I could start investing in state real estate, out of state real estate, and international real estate. Why? Because I wanted passive income through rental real estate by building a rental real estate portfolio. And that's what I did. So that is my second stream of income, which is rental real estate. Okay. My third stream of income is what we call private lending. This is when you take a little bit of your money and you lend it to somebody else or an institution so that they can use your money, and you charge them a certain percentage in order to use your money. So my first lending deal was because I was investing in real estate, I started to find other people that invested in real estate. Now, when you find investors, a lot of times these people are looking for more money so that they can go buy more real estate. So my first lending deal was actually in lending money to another real estate investor that wanted to buy some property out of state but just didn't have enough money. And so what did I do? I was diligent, saving up my money from building my business. I never spent any of my rental real estate income. To this day, I've never spent any. And now, because of that passive income from my business and then from my real estate, now I had some money that I can actually start lending. So I lend money to other real estate investors that's always backed by guaranteed loans and it's backed by real property. Once I started lending money to business or to real estate investors, I started lending money to institutions. So, a big part of my portfolio now is lending money to banks. You may not know that, but you can lend money to banks. So, I have notes out, which they're called, where you take money, you lend it to an institution. Right now, I have notes at Goldman Sachs, I have notes at JP Morgan. I have notes at Morgan Stanley. These are all loans that I loan to banks, and they pay me 8%, 9%, 10%, 13%. And this is just cash that flows in every single month, even though I'm not doing anything. So I lend to real estate investors. That money is always backed by the asset itself and backed by personal guarantees. And I also lend money to banks and they pay me, and I'm on the other side. Fourth stream of income is what we call paper assets. These are stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, even insurances. So these are assets that you invest money in, and it does two things for you. The first thing that it does is these companies are going to appreciate in value. And once you invest $100 into a company, that a company does very well, an Apple, an Amazon, a Tesla, they start doing well, then your $100 appreciates in value, and maybe it's going to appreciate to $200. Now you just made $100 of passive income for doing what? Nothing at all. And so I actually started late to the game investing into the stock market. I knew nothing about the stock market. I was not interested in the stock market. I thought that I was just going to be a real estate investor. But after a while, I needed to figure out not how to evade taxes, but how can I start to avoid some taxes? And one of the things I started doing was started investing into the stock market. So now I get hundreds and thousands of dollars every single year of free money because I have invested into paper assets. Number five, this is something you can do literally right now and start moving your money out of a regular savings account and move it into something called a high yield savings account. I wish that I would have learned about this one thing at the very beginning, but believe it or not, I did not learn about high yield savings accounts until I had already invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into real estate, hundreds of thousands of dollars into the stock market. I had already loaned hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I never ever heard of a high yield savings account. So, a high yield savings account is where you can move your money out of a regular old savings account that's paying you nothing at all. It's paying you no money for using your money into a high yield savings account, which traditionally is going to pay you somewhere around 3, 4, 5% interest on your money. So I have lots of savings accounts and high yield savings account, and every single month I make thousands and thousands of dollars just off of my money being in a high yield savings account. Isn't that amazing? So move your money out of a regular savings account. If you're banking at Wells Fargo or Chase or whatever, I don't know, and these guys aren't paying you any money on your money, then I move my money into a high yield savings account. So that's income stream number five. Every single month at the first of the month, I get a check, and that check is simply money from my savings. It's so easy. Number six is dividend income. So you remember I told you about the paper assets in example number four? Well, those stocks don't only appreciate to make more money, but a large amount of those stocks are going to pay you a rental because you're an investor into the company. So every quarter, what they're going to do is split the profit with you. Isn't that dope? Like I remember when I was working back for Johnson and Johnson in pharmaceutical sales. It would have been so cool if the company every quarter said, "Hey, Jamil, as a sales rep, we're going to split with you part of our profits." They never did that. But once I started owning Johnson and Johnson, they do that, right? So check it out. If you work for them, they don't split any profits with you. But if you're a part owner with them, they will split profits with you. So dividend income is such an easy way to get a check every single quarter for doing nothing at all but becoming part owner in that company through the stock market. It's so easy. Number seven is book royalties. Because I started having some success, I started learning some things. I wanted to write some books about the things that I was learning. I thought that I could be a value add. I learned how to write the books, we learned how to publish the books, and now we sell the books. So every single month, I get hundreds of dollars for books that I wrote 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or a year ago, and I never do anything. These books just keep selling, even though I don't promote them, I don't market them, I don't even talk about them. And every month I get paid for books, for work that I did years ago. So, royalties is another way that you can get income every single month for doing what? Nothing at all. It's just passive. You wrote the book one time. You did the work one time. It's just like stocks. I buy the stock one time and it pays me hundreds of times. I buy the real estate one time and I've gotten thousands of checks from real estate that I bought one time. That's what you want to do. You don't want to be working so hard. So, number eight, buying businesses. So not only do you build your own business, but what you can do is start buying businesses that are already profitable, that are already existing, or businesses that are just going to get started. And what you can do is you can invest a handful of money into that business and take part ownership. And so that's one of the things that I started doing was saying, hey, I know a little bit about these different industries. I know that people have businesses, they probably want some partners. They probably want some money. And they're a lot of times they're doing well already or just need a little bit of help. So you can invest in those businesses that are already operating, they already have owners, they already have operations team, and because you become an equity partner, you are going to get paid a distribution every single quarter or every single year if that company is profitable. How dope is that? So they do all the work. All you did was just invest in it. So I get paid, believe it or not, every month from businesses that I don't even own or that I don't even work for. right? We just own part of them. Number nine is the business that I have now, which is Think Life is Different. So Think Life is Different is my core business now, but this is why you want to build a business. When I started building this business, I never built it with the idea that I would actually run it. I've been building this business with the idea that other people are going to be in charge of this business and other people are going to run this business. Why? Because I don't want to do any work. I only want to do the work that I want to do. And I want to make sure that just like my last business, this business can operate without me. So already I'm starting to build the systems. I'm starting to build the categories. I'm starting to bring in the leadership so that I can step away and let these brilliant people run this business while I just do the things that I really like to do, like show up on camera, talk to you guys, really work with our students, help people build wealth. But I'm not trying to do all that other stuff in the business. I'm not trying to do the sales. I'm not trying to do the marketing. I'm not trying to do the operations. I don't want to do the HR. I don't want to do anything except for write my books, show up on videos, help our students. That's it. Let other brilliant people run the business. Why? Because I plan on in the next handful of years, again, stepping away almost completely and having the business run on its own. And the way you do that is via systems and you can scale it. This is how you make money a lot faster. Number 10, social media monetization. I was late on this. I've only started making money on social media within the last year or so. I've made millions of dollars in the past decade, and but I've never made money via social media until about 10 months ago. So I told you, man, I'm late to the game on some of these too. Like I've only was introduced to high yield savings accounts maybe 4 years ago, and I only started making money on social media 10 months ago. Those are things I should have been doing a decade ago at least, but I didn't know. Just like you're watching this video and you don't know how you could be making a ton of money passively, but you just haven't been given a playbook. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm your guy. That's why I'm giving you the game, right? So, social media monetization. Did you know that if you can build up enough of an audience and you start becoming consistent on the way that you post content, that social media will actually pay you for the content that you put out there, whether it's making videos like this, whether it's making posts, they will pay you per every post once you start to get enough people that are engaging with that post. So pretty much every single time I put up a video or I put up a post, I am getting paid for it. Not only that, if you start putting up good enough content, then you can start to get revenue share via ads. I haven't gotten there yet, to be honest with you, but we are on our way. Something that does happen is once you start to get enough visibility, then other creators will pay you to post their content. And so you can start making passive income every single day from social media for doing not much of anything. My social media mostly is run by teams now. I'm not in the direct messagings. I'm doing a live right now, but most of the content that's put up is actually done by a team that I've hired, multiple teams that I've hired that now take care of the social media, but I get paid every day, even though I'm not necessarily doing the work. It's so dope. Number 11, this is my most recent stream of income, and it is by far going to be the most lucrative. So, number 11 is real estate private equity funds. And what that is they are private equity funds that you can put together so that you can go do larger deals. Probably the highest level of investing you can do is something called private equity. You might want to write that down. I learned about private equity from watching a show called Shark Tank about 8, 9 years ago. And I remember I would watch these people on Shark Tank and I would think, wow, how amazing is that? That they've figured out a way to have enough money that they could just start investing in other people's businesses, or they're so well known and they know how to raise money well enough that they can just go out and solicit other people to give them money so that they could go make investments. That's exactly what we do now. So in our real estate investing funds, we raise millions of dollars of private money from what they call accredited investors, people that do very well financially, and we encourage them to invest with us. And once they give us their money so that we can go make these investments, then we take something called a management fee. You might want to write that down. And a management fee is a fee that we charge to manage their money, generally 1%, 2%, something like that. That management fee is so dope because us as the general partners aren't really doing the work to manage it. We have our teams, again, that manage it. Rarely do you want to work for the money. Let me say this again. Rarely do you want to work for the money. What you want to do is get really good at building teams and having the teams do the work for the money. So even though the teams are managing, doing all the managerial sort of work, we as the general partners get paid for that. Okay. Which is called passive income. And then on the back end, once we actually do the deals, we make the deals, we buy the properties, we sell the properties, we split the profits with all of the LPs, okay, the limited partners. So we're the general partners, our LPs, they get their money back, and then we all split the profits, which are really big. Okay. So those are the 11 income streams that I currently have right now. Let me go through them again. And these, I told you step by step what I did. But what I want you to do is I want you to pick out two that you are going to start literally just by watching this video. And I want you to comment below which two you're going to start on, whether that is a high yield. What up, Charles? Whether that's a high yield savings account that you can start tonight, right, and get 3, 4, 5% on your savings. Whether that is you decide you're going to start that first business, I don't know. But out of these 11, I want you to choose two, and I want you to drop it in the comments below. Which two are you going to start focusing on so that you can have multiple streams of income passively without you needing to be there? So let me recap on my 11 for some of you guys that are jumping on late. Number one, my first core business that I stepped away from a year and a half ago, but pays me every single month thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, even though I do nothing, nothing at all. No, I don't look at any reports. I don't talk to anybody. I do nothing at all for that business. And it's paid me hundreds and thousands of dollars for doing nothing. Okay. So that's foundation number one. That's step number one. Number two is rental real estate. Number three is private lending, getting a chunk of money and lending it to people that need it or to institutions that need it. I told you about some banks that I actually lend money to, one being Goldman Sachs. You've heard of them. Another one is JP Morgan. Another one is Morgan Stanley. And that's just three. But I lend to a lot of banks. So instead of me going to banks and borrowing money, banks come to me and borrow money. It's so dope. Number four is paper assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, even life insurance. These are all things that you can invest in that's going to build up income over time without you needing to do anything. Okay, that is passive income. Number five, high yield savings accounts. One of the easiest things you can do if you got some money sitting in some savings and it's not accruing any money for you, your money should be making you money every single day. And if it's not, it's because you're not focused on it. And that's why this video is going to help you. But you can move that money into a high yield savings account that's going to help you. Number six, dividend income. If you're investing in stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, companies that are going to pay you for being part owner and is going to allow you to have revenue share of the profits from that company. They are going to pay you a dividend. I get thousands and thousands of dollars every quarter from investing into dividend stocks. Number seven, book royalties. You can see some of the books behind me. We have so many of them. So I have my book, The Richest Man in Direct Sales. People buy this every single month and I get paid for it. and I've been getting paid for it for the last 5 years. The Freedman and Oak Tree, which is my newest book. I wrote this book earlier this year, and people buy it every month, even though I don't market it and I don't even talk about it. It's just passive income. In the 12 shifts, this book people buy the most and have been buying the most for the last 5 years. Every single month, I get income from these books, even though I wrote them one time a long time ago and I don't even talk about them anymore. That is called a royalty. The Freeman and Oak Tree, I'm going to turn into a movie. And once we produce the movie and we sell it to Amazon, Hulu, so on and so forth, creating your own standard core business. Okay. What just happened to my darn thing? Did I freeze? Did I freeze? I'm just gonna keep going. Number nine, creating your own business. No sound. What happened, Charles? Oh, we're not getting any sound because I just got a call that came through. That sound. It's back now? All right, cool. So number nine is creating, your own core business that you're working out of right now, but not creating a business that you have to work in all the time. You want to create a business that you can scale by building systems. Okay. Number 10, social media monetization. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they all will pay you for delivering better and great content. And number nine, think about creating a private equity fund. We have real estate development funds where we partner as general partners with limited partners. We raise money, millions of dollars. We get management fees and we split part of the profit with them. Those are the 11 income streams that I currently have, that whether I get out of bed or I stay in bed all day, I get paid every single month for doing nothing at all. That is not going to happen unless you force it to happen and you start planning for it to happen. So I want you to drop in the comments two of these 11 that you want to start focusing on and you want to start building. Talk to me in the comments. And also, if you want to join my next free investing class, go on and put in the comments free, and I will send you the link so you can join us. We actually start in just a couple days, and I would love to see you there. Until the next video, if this brought you any value at all, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go on and share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.